Alright, we switched camera view. We saw just did my Vinyl Tag 2025 video. Now I'm going to do the soundtrack Vinyl Tag 2025 video. Nothing like a good old root beer that hits the spot. I used to be a big soundtrack vinyl collector, huge. This whole shelf was filled and then some, so I had 4 rows of all vinyl soundtracks. I have sold off a lot because I found myself not listening to them and I want to hoard them. If other people are going to enjoy them, then I will sell them. So I've been selling off a lot of my soundtracks, and now I just have from here and then these 2. So yeah, about half of what I used to have, because it gets crazy. You can't have all your hobbies all the time. Anyway, I digress. Question number 1. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for clicking all that stuff. Favorite movie soundtrack purchase of 2024. Walked into Old School Records in Forest Park, Illinois, and found this. I think this is an unofficial copy, but Suburbia, original copies were just running way too much, and somebody went and repressed this. I believe it could have been repressed. It's by Survival Research. Could be legally repressed, but hey, Suburbia, great punk rock movie and great soundtrack. And where do I put all this stuff? Favorite purchase from 2024 of a soundtrack? Time Bandits. Just picked this up a few weeks ago. I love the movie. It was kind of creepy to see as a kid, but Time Bandits, that's my favorite recent purchase, or my most recent purchase. A soundtrack you own more than one copy of. You know, I sold off a lot of the ones I own more than one copy of, but well, that's kind of weird, but I still kept 2 Almost Famous. One has more songs than the other, so yeah, that's a great shot of Kate Hudson. Oh, what a great movie, too. I really wanted to be a rock journalist. Well, I wanted to be a rock and roller full-time. That didn't happen, so I thought my plan B would be a rock journalist, and that didn't happen either, but it's still a great movie. Pick a favorite genre. Show a soundtrack from that genre. I gotta go. I like 2. Punk, Decline of Western Civilization, and heavy metal, out of the hair metal bands, Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, the Metal Years. So yeah, they're totally defined a genre. I hate that word because I never know how to say it. Show a score from your collection. Any year. I think this is 81. Heavy Metal, the movie, the cartoon movie, also has a score. So this is Heavy Metal movie. The score, who's it by? Elmer Bernstein. Elmer Bernstein. Good job, Elmer. Based on pressing date, your oldest soundtrack in your collect. My oldest soundtrack. I believe it's 1962. I believe this is a John Wayne movie, if I'm not mistaken. Atari. I love the artwork, too. Yeah, it's a John Wayne movie. Atari. Not Atari, like we used to play in the 80s, but Atari. And they're chasing a black rhino, and oh yeah. I've seen this movie. It's a good movie. Okay, next is up. I Feel Pretty. Show a cool color or splatter vinyl record. Cool was, this is kind of creepy, and I don't like horror movies. I certainly don't like realistic serial killer horror movies, but Henry Serial Killer was filmed here in Chicago. I actually got to meet the star of him not too long ago, and we talked about how he was filming in Lower Wacker and stuff. This is kind of neat. But anyway, this is like kind of a blood splattered album. It really doesn't show up. It looks like a crime scene, but it really doesn't show up unless you put it up against the whiteness of it here. So yeah. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. How pleasant for the holidays. What is this next one? This next one is show any 7-inch movie-related vinyl. 7-inch movie-related vinyl. I do have a Jaws one, but I'm going to go with Orca. 7-inch there. I actually usually have this displayed up there somewhere. So 7-inch Orca vinyl. I really like that. Favorite soundtrack album artwork. I like the cheesy kind of drawing. I'm thinking this came out in the 80s, 86. Yeah, I like kind of cheesy style. So this King Kong Lives, to me that's perfect. Yeah, here's the other side, but because we're looking at the artwork. So yeah, it's really rounded, and yeah, to me it's really cool. I like that. It's my favorite artwork. Original and remake. Show one of each. I didn't know if it meant movie or actual soundtrack, but here's my answer anyway. Planet of the Apes. And then of course they kind of remade the series. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes was the first one. This was the first one in this kind of version. First one in that kind of version. So I don't know. If that's not the proper way to answer that, I apologize. Show any soundtrack from the 1990s. Ooh, the 90s. The last year of the 1990s was 1999, for those of you playing at home. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. These are hard to find. Parts 1, 2, and 3 of the Star Wars soundtracks. One that I found in a cheap bin. Something you got on the cheap. I got this really cheap. It may have been $1, but yeah, it's crappy. Look at that, crappy condition. But it's the Batman and Robin thing. I actually had Burt Ward. I thought Burt Ward passed away. I was gonna be like, oh, sorry about Burt, but he's still alive. The other guy passed away, but the guy who played Robin, Burt Ward, he is there. Adam West, of course, passed away, but I thought Burt did too. Anyway, stop. No, it was a cheap album. Brought it to a show that he was at, autograph thing, and I had him sign it. So yeah, I believe just one more. This is a quick one, the soundtrack vinyl tag, and yeah, appreciate you watching the video. Appreciate you, you know, showing up on the channel here. A non-soundtrack movie-related thing. I don't know if you can see it, so let me grab this camera off this thing here. So professional. Let me get my film crew to help me out here, which is just me. The Waterboy soundtrack had a advertising, and I actually got Firuza Balk to sign it there. She was really cool to meet. And yeah, so this is the non-movie. I have a lot of non-movie things. My favorite movie is the Blues Brothers, and I have a ton of non-soundtrack Blues Brothers items. But yeah, this is Waterboy. Anyway, thanks for clicking on this video, and hope you have a great day.